What have I learned in one of the largest insurance or financial group in the world? We have to say that there was two or three stages in my career there as a junior employee, as a CEO of what they call an OE, which means a company of the group, but established in one of the countries where they're active, and as an international executive there in two different roles. So the variety of roles that big groups offer is already something which is amazing, and gives the ability to learn from different angle. What I've learned is first the size, the magnitude, coming from a smaller country or a smaller unit from the group, and landing into the larger group center with a pool of people from different origin, from different background, cultural, is amazing. Is a learning how to integrate oneself, how to start working with that pool of very clever, ambitious, bright, and just diverse set of people is great. We have to be open. I have to be open. I had to be open myself. Coming from a smaller entity, I changed the way I was working. I was handling my relationship with all my colleagues. That was important. One key is the need to establish bridges and network. The business I was leading before was based on partnerships and other partnerships that were taking part of the value chain, part of the element of the value chain. But I was in charge, and I was driving the changes in transformation. And if you're the client or the partner, you negotiate, but it's business, and you move forward based on a bit what you bring on the table. Is it business? Is it money? Is it influence or other element? But going in a group center, it's not about that anymore. A group center doesn't mean that the relationship that you establish with all the subsidiaries or other unit of the group are in a hierarchical position. What the key there is to establish a network, to create trust, to really focus on the social element aspect of the business, and the people. Of course, it's always been people business, and I'm a person that's driven and oriented towards establishing emotional and trustful connection. But there it's magnified. It's so important to create this network that even the group I have established, of course, there's the in-house restaurant and the good one and the not so good ones, but there's also a coffee place, a barista coffee place, where the management of the group encourages all the employees to go and connect, because going there, you meet other people, you will meet people who meet people. So rather than just having an informal meeting, passing by an office somewhere, what you do, you just go there and have a nice coffee, which is the nice part, and the coffee was really nice actually. But also establish long-term connection in a more informal way. And this informal element is so important, because it is something that you can rely on over and over. When people go to other parts of the group, you will keep those connections, and they will be valuable. And it's not only about coffee. It's also about creating other type of network, like if you work on a specific segment, bringing the people from all over the world who are working on that segment, and work with them to establish a sharing moment, a sharing seminar, so that one country can copy what another country was doing, slightly adapting it to the culture, to the element of that country, to the structure, legal structure of that country, but then to be able to work in a way that is better for the group and the result of the group at the end. For me, what I've learned, I was always open. I mean, I was as a person, I liked always going outwards and meet other people and culture. But there, it's every day. It's everyone is different, and it's about being open. It's about being sharing. I don't like when people say, where I'm from, trust is earned, not given. And from my perspective, I much prefer giving trust, be open towards people. I much prefer having, established trust and 80% is worked, given back, as opposed to not giving trust and then nothing's working. If you reach the hand out towards people, most of them will answer. I remember that Japanese, it's not even colleagues, partners, or part of the network, who wanted to act so Western-like, European-like, and I was open with him and wanted to somehow. Plenty of mistakes were made into trying to understand each other's behavior, culture, little element of body language. But at the end of the day, the key was not the element and the mistakes we made. The key was the willingness from both sides to have established a common willingness to pass beyond, to go beyond those cultural differences and establish a simple relationship, business relationship. Another element that I've learned is to establish an understanding of what create value for the group. It's not about create value for my own unit only or my own person. It's about understanding what creating value for the group means. There's a lot of example there. You can start thinking, I'm going to develop this type of business, but if it's not in the group strategy or create a capital increase, the requirement to increase the capital as opposed to reduce it, then if the group doesn't want to put the capital, it's a great idea, but it could end up in a negative result simply because it doesn't fit in the business mix, or because the investment is too high, or because the investment doesn't fit within the guidelines of the group, and therefore it's limitative. And if you understand that you have many stakeholders, those stakeholders can be direct or indirect. That is part of the network I was mentioning earlier, that you've understood what your stakeholders are, who your stakeholders are, and what their needs are. Then you can navigate within those that pool of needs, or that ecosystem of need, which will allow you to be very creative, which allow you to also not be alone. So if you manage to get the right project, the right business idea that will make other stakeholders also help them to create value for the group and their own environment, then the value you create by your own project will help their value, and the value of the group will go up. And of course, big groups are just like little element a bit everywhere will raise the value of the group, and this is an element of large groups and collaboration network, which is extremely important. Of course, at the end of the day, there are currencies like real currency, like money, which will be the ultimate one. But before getting to the money currency, there is all that added value and goodwill and ability to work together and to lift much heavier weight by working together. That is an important element. Failing to do so will not be very successful, will be extremely frustrating. And that's something that I've learned in big groups, but also is very important to apply in my future business life, which I've done again and again. So the element of bridging and creating those communities where we can work and collaborate together is very important. Beyond that, the learning is extreme. It's something which I will always have valued, and I would always push others to benefit from. And that leads me to one element there is working in large groups is not only about one person, it's about the community, and bringing people to that community is not to be understated. So I felt that I was responsible not only for what I was doing, but also bringing a lot of colleagues from outside the country or in that unit towards learning to introduce them. We had a name that was hospitation. So it means like creating a network for others so that they have a kickstart. They don't start from scratch, but they already have a network at the beginning where they're there. So these are elements that are important in a large group. Is not only for one person, but also you're part of a community and contributing to that community. Giving back is as important as taking. So that's what I've learned in one of the big groups. But there's so much more for another podcast on this.